I don't normally do DIY projects for the household. You know I'm all about reused, recycling, repurposing to save the planet. So if I need furniture, I'm on OfferUp or home decor Poshmark using my credits. But I did a little thing. I made an outside rug with some doormats. I'm going to show you how I did it in today's video. I'm Monique, the work from home mogul, and I make videos about working from home, entrepreneurship, ways to make money online, Poshmark reselling tips, crypto, all that goodness. If you like that type of stuff, make sure that you're subscribed. Share this with a friend. And we're also going to learn some DIY tips from Cluelessa. Okay, I think I get it. Stay tuned to the end for clues about DIY from Cluelessa. Let's get started. Clearly, this is not a DIY channel. What does DIY have anything to do with working from home? Well, if you're at home, you probably want things to look nice and want to spruce things up. If you don't want to buy everything new, I have some tips about OfferUp, how to sell and replace. So yeah, I made this video because I wanted an outside mat and I didn't want to buy it new. And I did a lot of searching on YouTube about how to make a rug. And I saw a whole bunch of stuff about indoor rugs, using carpet tape and sewing, box cutting, a lot of stuff that I wasn't trying to do. But I did get a glue gun off Poshmark and I got a whole bunch of doormats from the dollar store. So I thought, okay, nobody made a video about this. I know it's possible. Let me go ahead and try it. I did see a video about using placemats and a glue gun, which I thought was completely ridiculous because why are you spending $1 for each tiny placemat when you can get these dollar doormats that are much bigger, nicer, and sturdier? So here's what I did. I went to the Dollar Tree and I saw these really nice rectangular with square corner doormats, black doormats with gold writing. So I got 7 of them. I got 7 because there were only 7 there. And then I proceeded to other Dollar Trees to try to get more, but there weren't any. There were only the rounded corners. So anyway, I got 10. I went out to my balcony. I put down the doormats and placed them around, and they looked okay. But there was a slight breeze, and these doormats were just flipping around all over the place to the point where it looked like it could, since they're so thin, it looked like they could actually just fly over my balcony onto the street, and I did not want that to happen. So that's when I started doing my research. So I had all these doormats and I had a glue gun. So I'm like, let me adhesive this thing together. First thing I did was I laid them out to whatever pattern that I thought would be cute. So I started with just lining them. That made it really long and it actually fit the diameter of my balcony. Then I figured, you know what, let me put 3 in the middle. Let me do a little patchwork design so that all the words weren't just facing one way. And I really liked how that was turning out. So I had my design together and then it was time to get the glue gun started. I never used a glue gun before, so this probably wasn't the best idea for me to be trying to do this project without trying to glue some other stuff together. I don't even know why I bought it. I bought it during quarantine, figuring that I was gonna start glue gunning stuff together. I don't know. But I did read all the warnings. I knew not to touch the top so I wouldn't like burn and glue myself to the actual glue gun. So I kind of got started on one side of each mat, and what I quickly realized that it's only hot for a certain amount of time and then it just turns into clumps of room temperature glue that don't stick together. So I quickly realized that if I'm gonna glue things, it needs to be stuck together quite fast. So with these 2-foot wide doormats, I then decided, okay, let me just do the corners. And that worked out for a while. Then I started realizing, okay, I should be doing this from upside down so that any glue that comes through isn't chunky on the top side of the mat. I kept telling myself the whole time that this is just for outside. Outside gets dirty. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to cover up the raw cement on my balcony and look okay. If you can't machine wash them, you need to replace them every year or so anyway. So I spent $11 on these doormats because I figured an even number would work, but then when I did the patchwork, I needed one more. I figured this was a good project for me to start since it was only 11 bucks. And worst case, I just go on Poshmark and get a used rug. After flipping over all of the mats so that the back side was facing up, I glued the corners together. I did see some flaps in the middle, and as the glue got room temperature, it wasn't as sticky. So these were the things that I had to deal with, where I realized that carpet tape would be the answer at this time. I didn't have carpet tape. I didn't feel like getting carpet tape, but what I did have was a needle and thread. All the videos on YouTube that I searched about DIY was like no sewing in all caps, as if this is like the most frightful thing you could do in DIY is to start sewing. Honestly, the hardest part about sewing is threading the needle, especially if you have to do that a couple of times. So in order to avoid this, I tried to make my thread as long as possible. But then as I was sewing, the thread came out of the needle, so I had to rethread it anyway. Once you get the needle threaded, you're good. I mean, as long as you're not poking yourself. All you gotta do is just go through and make loops. It is so easy. It was a little bit time consuming, but you can see that the places that were sewn, it just looks so much better. What I came to find was that sewing was definitely necessary for those doormats I had with the rounded corners. Unless I wanted to get a box cutter and make them more rectangular so that the sides fit perfectly and evenly, I had to do a lot of sewing in the middle where those corners were to kind of fill in the gaps. Any part that I did not sew had a gap and was going to be flapping around. I went in and sewed most of the gaps just to get it all laying flat. So as you can see, the final result is absolutely horrible. It was kind of fun doing it, and it only cost 11 bucks. So if you want to make yourself an outdoor rug with doormats, you should use carpet tape. You can sew it. Hot glue is probably not the answer. Or just go on Poshmark and get a repurposed, recycled rug. And you can use my code Mo_goal as a new Poshmark user for $10 off, so you could practically get it for free. Now let's hear from Cluelessa. Hello, I don't box dye my own hair. I mean, ew, as if. DIY stands for do it yourself. Yeah, I don't do it myself. I go to a colorist. I'm not trying to have all my hair fall out. Ugh, hello. What are some of your DIY projects? Oh, okay. Well, I had this vision of bedazzling my jewel-toned evening gown, and I had the vision, so I went ahead and got professional people so that I could have it done. Of course, it wasn't exactly the way that I told them. Like, it didn't come out exactly the way I pictured it. Sometimes you have to do things yourself if you want it done your way. Yeah, I'm like not all that crafty. I do know my strong suits are more of just like big thinking, not application. So I'm gonna have people to do these types of things. What's the first thing that you do when you start a project? why would you be doing things yourself when you can pay people to do them? Thanks, Cluelessa. Thanks, work from home bodies. Now, if you know someone that has a rug that they're always afraid it's going to get rained on, go ahead and send them this video. Comment below any DIY projects you've done. If you want to see more of it, I'm probably not going to do it, but let me know in the comments. Maybe I can find something that I can use for my household. Make sure that bell is hit so you get notified for the next video, and we'll see you then. So I had all these doormats and I had a glue gun. So I'm like, let me adhesive this thing together.